Hello, my name is Caroline Farquhar and I'm a registered holistic nutritionist. I'm an energy medicine practitioner and I'm a medical advisor at CanPrev. My initial interest in natural health and wellness came from my own poor health. I was very sick. I had an overgrowth of yeast in the body. I also had parasites. And I went to the doctor and they really couldn't find anything. And he said, you probably have IBS and you might want to see a psychiatrist. So I thought, you probably think it's all in my head. But it wasn't in my head. I was very symptomatic. And I went to see a homeopath and she found out that I had parasites and candida, and then she gave me some homeopathic remedies that changed everything for me. And after that point, I just realized that by doing natural things and supporting my body, I didn't have to go back to the doctor again. So that's what got me in the industry, and I've been here for about 20 years. My digestive issues were pretty severe. Like, I was getting gas and bloating all the time. I was having, don't want to be too graphic, but I was having like vomiting and diarrhea like 6-7 times a day. Like, it was severe. There was definitely something going on. And when the doctors couldn't find what was actually wrong with me, it was very frustrating. And so when I found out what actually caused it, it made all the difference. But the other thing that made all the difference was finding the right supplements to help me. So with the gas and the bloating, when I ate, I knew I could take a digestive enzyme and it could help me. I knew I could take fiber and it would help as well. So learning about what it was and learning about the different lifestyle techniques I could change, the supplements I could add, it was a game changer for me. I knew I needed to take charge of my own health when my symptoms weren't going away doing what I was doing. So I realized that by eating the right things, by keeping the things that I shouldn't eat out of my house. So in this case, I had candida, which is an overgrowth of yeast in the body, and it feeds on sugar. And I was feeding on sugar all the time. And my pivotal moment was when I was on a conference call. I was working at another company, and I was a project manager, a global project manager. And I was running the call, and it was multiple countries, and I fell asleep on the call. I was so embarrassed. And that's what got me to the doctor. I said, something's wrong. I can't stay awake. What's going on? It turned out that it was, my blood sugar was so out of control. And I thought, that's it. I'm done. I can't live like this. I was in my mid-30s at the time. That's not a symptom of getting older. There's something wrong. So once I found out what it was, a friend of mine who was going to school to be a holistic nutritionist, she said, oh, you've got candida. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty. What's that? It's not pretty. It's an overgrowth of yeast in the body, which turns to mold and fungus. And I thought, when I started visualizing that, I thought, I don't want that in me. That's gross. That's disgusting. And I realized all the symptoms it was causing. And I said, that's it. I'm done. And I got rid of all of the stuff that was in my house that I shouldn't be eating. And I really started taking control of my life, and I started taking control of my health. And I went back to school to become a registered holistic nutritionist, and here I am today. Getting to the root cause of whatever your condition is key. It's very empowering. Once you know what it is, then you can know what to do about it. If you just keep taking something that's a Band-Aid, then you're never going to get to what's actually causing it. So getting to the root of the problem is what's actually going to help you to get rid of it. Taking medications or even supplements sometimes isn't going to deal with the root cause if you're not looking at all the things that kind of brought you there. Like, for me personally, for my journey, once I knew what it was, I thought, okay, I'm not going to eat the foods that are feeding the candida. I'm going to take herbs that are going to kill off the candida, and I'm going to take probiotics to put the good bacteria back into my body again. And guess what? I didn't need to go to the doctor for any of that. That's very empowering. And then I can do that with pretty much everything in my life. Look at it. There's a time and a place, no question, where you're going to have to get help from a medical practitioner. But in my case, and for a lot of people's cases, just stepping back, learning about what it is it that got you there, and what are some of the things that you can do to empower yourself to not have to rely on someone else for your health. My personal health journey has actually created my career. So when I had Candida, I always thought it was a curse, but actually it was my blessing, because it got me into this industry. It got me better. It got me out there in front of hundreds of thousands of people over the past 20 years to be able to help them with their health and to empower them like I empowered myself. So, out of this, really bad time in my life where I was so sick and I was just so tired and I was so done with it all, it has turned into this career that I love and wake up and get excited about every single day. And I don't see an end in sight. That's the great thing. It's like, when I decide to not do it, or I'm going to move to Costa Rica or something, then maybe I won't do it anymore. I don't know. But even then, I would probably do it there. And I meet people in all walks of life. When I'm on planes and stuff like that, I am always talking about when you get on a plane and someone says, oh, where are you going? Why are you here? And I tell them I'm here to do a talk about perimenopause or something. And then they start asking more questions. And then I'm able to help them with their health, like right there on the plane. It happens all the time. So I just love that I can do that. I get so excited about it. I knew right away that this was the path for me. I have been in this industry doing what I do for 20 years, and I love it as much today as I did when I very first started. And I think the thing I love most is that I do share my story. I do share my struggles, and people can see that, yes, you can get better. You can empower yourself. And I think that when people do come to see a lecture or something like that, that's the reason they're coming. They want to get that information so that they can do it for themselves. And many, many times over all the years I've been doing this, I have people come up and they've got tears in their eyes. They're like, wow, like you understand what I'm going through. And it's because I've been through it. So I think I've just always known that this is where I need to be. Well, holistic practices, I live and breathe it. I'm very lucky, I'm fortunate. I'm with a partner. We are both holistic nutritionists. We both eat organic. We both drink, spring water. We go to a spring, we get our water. We take supplements, and we lead a very clean, quiet lifestyle. We're very lucky that we can do that. I appreciate the fact that that's a privilege that we have. But it's something that is very core to both of us. It's an investment in our health. I would rather invest in my health now than have to do it down the road where I don't have good health anymore and I can't do all the things that I want to do. Nutrition was huge, and I didn't realize how bad my nutrition was until I went to CSN, which is the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition. And I was living off of at the time I was living off of Red Bull and chocolate and all this stuff to keep my energy going. And it was like the worst things to do. And it's what actually put me in the state that I was in, the Candida, and just always tired and always falling asleep, and the blood sugar levels were all over the place. So once I went back to school and I started learning how crucial good nutrition is to your health, like you really literally are what you eat. So I really started paying attention to what that was. And even to this day, I'm an 80-20 girl. I've always been an 80-20 girl. If you're 100% of the time, that can be just as stressful as maybe not eating the right foods. So I eat really well. I choose organic as much as I can. Most of my budget does go towards good food. Again, it's worth the investment. Non-negotiable nutrition habit of mine. I would say making sure that I have good water. Like that's a key one for us. I take a probiotic every day. That's probably one of the things I do the most often. And the other thing that I've incorporated, that's one of the things that I'm very conscientious of is taking collagen every day, because I've got a few health issues and collagen has made a massive difference for me. So that's it for like as far as like supplements and water, but just making sure that I eat properly throughout the day. And I used to like go for hours and hours and hours. I'm not hungry, have a cup of coffee. There goes the cravings for food, like you're just not hungry anymore. So now I'm just very careful about, what I eat and when I eat it. Oh, relaxation and balance. The hobbies that I love to do, I make jewelry, so that really relaxes me. It's very meditative for me. And I also love to go for walks, and I love to hug trees. I discovered these creative outlets long time ago with the jewelry. I just thought, I saw some nice, jewelry, and I thought, I think I might try to make that. And that was probably about 25 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since and kind of improving as I go along. So I kind of learned that as I went along, but the walking in the forest or forest bathing and being with the trees was just, I noticed that every time I would get in nature, I would relax. I could breathe more. My shoulders weren't in my ears, and I just felt so much better when I would be out in nature. Self-advocacy for your health, I think, is crucial, especially now in this day and age when doctors, they don't have a lot of time for you. You've got a few minutes and you're allowed 1 or 2 questions. So it really is important that you ask the right questions and that you find the right practitioners. Sometimes your doctors might not listen to or believe what you have to say. Don't stop there. Find the doctors and the practitioners that are actually going to help you with the issues that you need. Advocate for testing and diagnostics. If your doctor doesn't have the time to spend with you, at least say, okay, like, can I get my blood tested? And then if I've got a naturopath and I have a medical doctor. So my medical doctor is there to help with all the testing I need, but it's the naturopath that really helps me to dig down into it and to figure out what things are going to be best for me. Pay attention to your body and what it's telling you, and listen to it when it's whispering before it starts screaming, because at that point then it could be harder to manage your symptoms. And do definitely advocate for yourself and find the things that work for you. Everything might not work for everybody, so find the things that work for you and then just stick with it. You're worth it. You're worth taking care of. The most surprising thing I learned about myself during my health journey is that I can be really stubborn. I know I need to do the right things, and then sometimes I just don't do it. So sometimes it's difficult to create the new habits. But I think that's probably the thing that I learned the most about myself is like, okay, Caroline, get out of your own way. Oh, when I think of CanPrev, I just think of the products are amazing. They're really good quality products. They're well researched. The ingredients make sense. They're actually therapeutic doses, which is key. There's a lot of supplements out there that have some ingredients, but are they really going to be enough and the right kind, and are they going to be absorbable? Like that's key when it comes to a supplement, and CanPrev is all about that. So I love their products. Long-term goal I'd like to set for myself is just to have good energy and feel that I can do all the things I want to do right up until the day I decide to take my last nap. I want to have that energy, I want to have that vigor, I want to have that passion, and I want my body to be able to cooperate with me when I want to do all these things. If I could give my younger self a piece of advice, it would be take care of your adrenal glands. I'm going through perimenopause right now, and as you hit perimenopause, your adrenals are really supposed to take over the production of estrogen. And at this point, it's not working quite so well, and I just really wish that someone had told me way back then, take care of your adrenal glands. So my niece is 23, and that's the first thing I told her is like, make sure you take care of them. One message I would like to send to all Canadians is you're worth taking care of. Whether it's good food, good supplements, good water, you are worth it. So please invest in yourself.